That'll do, pig. That'll do. What's the word, y'all? I am Werds Illah, aka Drew Skills, aka Ill Doing It Too, and this is the Werds Illah Podcast. And of course, you already know who the hell is here.
Yo, yo, yo. It's me, DBL, the baker.
You know what I mean? Of
some married guy. Some married guys podcast. 1/3.
Yes,
You know what I'm
1/3.
saying? Shouts out to the bros.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Baker Boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we here, man. Episode 12, man. We
Yeah,
moving along.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right along.
Keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Staying alive, as the BDs
It's
would
fun,
say.
man. It's fun.
Yeah, you know
I'm
what I
having
mean?
fun.
Yeah, man. It's cool. Definitely cool. So yeah, man. What you been up to, man, since last Thursday?
You know, same old. No, I can't say same old. I got a new little toy, man. I got a heat press.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
I'm trying
what's
to
up.
work on the merch game, if you will. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. I see the hat.
Yeah. You know, we working on a little brand. You know what I mean? We probably I don't know if I can say too much about it yet.
Yeah, I'd say keep that under wraps. Let's just allude to the idea that you're working on merchandising things and
Facts.
products of that nature.
Facts.
So, yeah, man.
And I got a heat press. Yo, can I get a shameless plug? If anybody needs,
do it.
you know, anything pressed up, you know what I mean? Send me the design or just holler at me. We can get in touch. You know, I need a design, whatever. I can print it potentially. And if you like it, we can talk further. You know, if not, then hey, we didn't lose anything but maybe a shirt. You know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah.
So, I'm open for anything, man.
For sure.
Appreciate the, space to say that.
Yeah, shit. Hey, I need sponsors. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's like, you gotta have, exchanges happening here.
Word,
you know what I'm saying? That's the idea, generating these ideas. Again, that's not to say, I don't know, it was just my first person who I saw say it, or I could say it, Derek Grace. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he was in line with, he says he always talks about Nipsey Hussle, and he just really watched him a lot, so that's how he got his ideas for things and whatnot. But it's like, this community-based stuff is like, this is supposed to, again, like what we saw with the other guy we were talking about. We could just get right into it. The guy, Naval Ravi Kant. You know what I'm saying? Automation makes creation, basically. It's like, that's what I was taking away. That's the phrase I wrote here. I'm trying to keep your little notes, you know what I'm saying? Trying to be a little professional in some manner.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, you're just talking about that. Like, we're so concerned with the idea of, like, things being automated, but it's like, there's a creative thing that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know, like, you know what I mean? This is what, the world is going to come to. So we might as well just start creating more and start opening up ourselves to opportunities, and, don't be afraid. You know what I mean?
Don't be afraid.
Do something.
That was my main thought. I think people people are afraid to be creative, or they're scared they're not creative. And I mean, you don't have to fucking paint a masterpiece to be creative. You don't. Know?
Nope.
People are coming up with shit.
And creative is not just that way. Obviously, it's not like being creative doesn't just naturally have to be like a painting or creating music or, you could be dancing, you could be an architect, you could be, whatever. It's just a lot of things that we limit ourselves to think, I do this, and we cap ourselves off. Like you become this specialized thing where it's like, okay, I did this thing and I achieved it, and now I'm this thing. And so at some point, maybe, and for most people, it's like you get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just not as happy as you were at one point. Maybe it just doesn't excite you as it once did, and you want to try other things, but yet you feel like, but I mean, I work so hard. Here I am. Like this is who I am, right? Like this is my purpose. This is this person I am. This is what I've created, my family, and all these things. And it's like, but you're unhappy, and that's creating a result of having less productivity and having other things happen to you. So it's like, that unhappiness equates to a lot of bad things, which almost limits you to the point where you think you're doing this thing that you say is going to get you, and you've achieved this thing, but yet you still feel alone a lot. You still feel like you haven't achieved something, or you're not really whatever. Like you're really wanting to do this other thing, and why not? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the harm of trying that new thing? Well, because now you have to start back at square one again. As opposed to this thing you've already done. You achieved it. You did it already. You got it. You're doing the thing. You're there. You've already done it. But now to do this other thing, it's not that, and it's so new that now you have to like refresh yourself, and you have to be a student. You don't know it yet. So you can't control the situation. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You don't know everything. So you're going to make mistakes, and obviously, that's where we don't understand. Like everything you've ever done, you probably not did really good at first. You know what I'm saying? You probably were okay at best. You know what I'm saying? And then you got better through time. You know what I'm saying? And that's just with every single thing you can do. And the fear of like trying to do a new thing because I got to start over is really weird, because naturally through life there's new things that are happening to you all the time. Your life is never always the same.
Right.
Things are changing around you naturally, so you're going to have to change in some manner, whether it's big things or not. So you're making changes, you know what I'm saying, or doing things, but they're unconscious, and you're not like trying to see these things come up or do these things. And it's, lo and behold, your life is happening anyways. It's like, why not stop it for a second, almost like put the reel on hold and be like, wait, I got this new idea, and then cut this new reel in and then let it roll out and start seeing what happens. We just letting that shit roll. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. That's a, I don't know. I don't know what that cycle.
Yeah, man.
We get stuck in, a lot of us. You know what I mean? And
complacency.
Yeah, for real.
It's easy to just go in with the flow and do the same shit every day, routine. You know, but who wants to live like that? Shouts out to anybody who wants to, you know.
Yeah, man. Life is exciting, man. We should make it exciting.
Do that.
Like, we be waiting for the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so there's like something that you're waiting for.
Right.
That is why I have, and I probably have mentioned it before, and I don't want to say this like I'm barking on religion or whatever, but I do feel like that's been one of my main things about it, is that it just seems like it's like a ploy. Like, it's like a game or something. Like, it's not real. Like, it's like, you're attempting to tell me that my life will get better once this thing happens. It's always on the other side of something. It's always once I do this, or once I've praised, or once I'm not saying that these things are bad. Some of these aspects of what religion is saying is incredible, and it's real, it's truthful, it's based on science and reality and truth that it can be experimented and shown and tell you like these are real things. But some of it is just these fantastical ideas and trying to make you believe that you have to be of servitude to something bigger that ultimately is more like a control system for most parts. Like, religion at its base is good, but then when man starts trying to implement it in their own way and try to interpret it and say what they believe and start interjecting and saying things, like, again, a lot of people, I haven't myself read the Bible, but I do know that if you read a lot of it, like in its totality, there's so much in it. It's so dense. There's so much information, and it's so old that it comes out like, yo, what were they talking? Like, this, some of it's sick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's some crazy stuff. And the Bible's not all just beautiful things. You know what I'm saying? As the world is not all beautiful things. So that's why I said I don't hate on religion, so to speak. I just think that we have a better chance of guiding our own self once we've experienced some things, and then we can start to learn more. That, like I was saying to, who was I saying it to? Somebody I was saying to about, like, you start learning, like, you learn through other people's pain. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like experience things, all this. You don't have to. If you've been able to be privy to seeing things happen in your life, you can start deciding like, yo, I already know what happens, you know, with these things, because I've seen direct examples, people that live around me or family members. I've seen what happens as the result of making these certain decisions. Why would I go do the same thing?
Yeah, but how many people really think like that? You know what I mean?
Not a lot.
I know plenty of people that you can either they do the same. Some people. I mean, everybody don't think like me, as what I know, what I've come to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you're right. You for sure.
Know what
That's
I mean?
for sure.
Or everybody
right.
doesn't think like you. You know what I'm saying?
You're for sure right about that.
And they gotta learn the hard way. I always ask it, but like, why do you gotta learn?
Like, most of us do.
We all do.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom has told me shit, and then I've gotten in trouble for it later on, or I've done something and I hear it like, oh man, they told me that back in the day. You know what I mean? Yeah. It happens. I don't know, man. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I think
lack of wisdom, maybe. You know.
Yeah, our stubbornness, like. And I don't know what that comes. Like, why are we like fight? You know what I mean? What is it about when you're younger? As far as like biologically, even just like your brain. What is it about when you're younger that like your brain just like is telling you, no, just like rebel. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you said that. No, I get. Or like it just doesn't process to you. Like the information doesn't stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
I think it's and I don't know. I had a weird thought, but not to quote it like that. But the YOLO effect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When
like the
young,
carefree.
yeah,
like
you just want to live. You want to do
right.
shit, experience shit.
True indeed.
You know what I mean? I think that's what that is.
Where it's like there's a balance that should happen then, right? So like remember that even as you get older to live in that sort of manner. But as you get older, you learn like structure is also necessary.
Absolutely.
So it's like the carefreeness is great as long as it's allotted a certain time. You know what I mean? Like you're not just carefree all the time. You know, you've kind of learned like I can be carefree in these elements or in these settings. You know what I mean? Because that's where creation comes from.
Yeah.
That's where great things come from. When you're free of just the things that you've been listening to or watching or thinking about. Now you're just left with you, and you're just trying to whatever. You know.
But like you said, it has to be a balance. I think.
Right.
I think that's where a lot of like premise for those movies that we like. I don't know. Me and my wife we watch a lot of rom-coms because she likes rom-coms.
Nah, I feel
you know what I'm saying? And the premise for those, they're either like somebody's too business oriented or they're not ambitious enough and they're just so carefree and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
And there's a problem in the relationship because
of the struggle of that. Yeah, of course.
So
right.
Like you're finding yourself still or something like that.
Yeah, like you're learning that you
need balance.
Yeah, you want to be a young person or you want to be free, but you also want that semblance of like structure. Right. Again, we all want that. You know what I'm saying? Like intuitively, I think we don't notice it until you get older. I think maybe, or you just maybe experience things quicker with. If you're deciding, there's some people who are just serial relationship people. You know what I mean? Go through multiple relationships and they're just constantly in relationships, or they're in a relationship for long periods of time before they're in another one, but they're just always in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And so that's great for some people, I guess. But like you said, maybe in that time you forget how to structure yourself. You know what I mean? Same way as you should structure yourself for a relationship. How do you structure yourself outside of a relationship so you can be in a relationship? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Because once you get in a relationship, now all of these things become each other's lives. This is not my life, really. This is our life as this thing, this unit now. So that becomes
if you
a
don't
different.
Learn how to not live like that once it's over, you're just gonna take that baggage into the next relationship.
For sure. For sure.
You know.
And that goes with everything, really. Beyond relationships, like in that manner, like emotion, like sexual or that relationship with a partner of that deal, even just friendships or family members or whatever. Like you end up realizing like you don't know all of the ins and outs of why you have certain relationships with certain people. You know what I'm saying? That takes time to unpack. You know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't really got that deep into like realizing those things, but I know that there's a dynamic that exists that creates itself, and you know what I'm saying, over time. You know what I mean? Where you start just balancing out your relationships with people and realizing like, okay, you know, certain people I hang out with for these things, and the older you get, you know, you don't hold grudges or worry about like what people are up to or not up to. Like if I see you, it's love, and so I'm not, you know, really bugging out or concerned if we do or don't talk. You know what I'm saying? It's neither here nor there for me. I'm not really putting that much thought or energy into it. You know, I'm existing within the community of people that's immediately around me, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, it's like those times will come, I believe, once I can establish something bigger. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the zone I want to stay in for a while. You know what I mean? I want to be like, yo, once I can establish a bigger sort of I don't know, business, I guess or empire, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Maybe then I'll be able to sit down and really, because I think that's kind of somewhat what the dude was talking about too, Naval from the Joe Rogan podcast. You know, like you kind of earn that right, almost like once you become wealthy or rich or whatever, you kind of almost like that's when people most start to like find themselves. You know what I'm saying? In a deeper level, like they start to want to know more about the ins and outs of whatever of their lives. You know,
you got the time.
Exactly. Not to say that money equates to life being better all the time. Like it just means that money does give you an opportunity to realize that, again, or the idea of automation gives you the idea that now it frees me up. My creative nature starts to shine through a little bit more, so I get the ability to think in less linear ways. I'm not just thinking about the next step and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Like, I'm getting time to just be like, but why do I even need to do anything? You know what I mean? And what does it really mean anyways? And those questions start to come up. But you don't know that until you start to sit down for a moment and not have to worry about the basics of life. You know, food, water, shelter, you know what I'm saying? Those simple things, once those are out of the way, you kind of just like, we've all had it. We've had glimpses of it. I think, like, when you get a decent sum of money and you're able to, like, pay some things off and you're paid ahead, or you're able to get a few things and then you're enjoying yourself, and then it starts to realize, like, okay, but you know what I'm saying, this doesn't last forever. I'm gonna have to get back to X, Y, and Z. And like, there's some truth in that. You know what I'm saying? What was your, you know, sort of emotion, or how did you act even? What was your behavior when you had those, like, glimpses of it? You know, like when you got close to, like, that feeling of, like, oh, I took care of this thing, and like being on a high of, like,
it's a high, like a carefree high. You know what I'm saying? You just worry free.
Like when you're able to, right, when you pay off everything, everything's done, you got this, you just went and bought this new thing,
and I still got $200-$300
left. Like, exactly, that type of shit. And that's like at the low level, but that feeling, I think, shouldn't supersede, of course, you doing what's noble and what's loyal and what's right. And, you know, again, we talk about integrity. I think that's definitely important to keep that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think that gives you a glimpse of, like, what could be deeper inside of you that might come up if you had a bigger success. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was your attitude during those? You know what I'm saying? Like, how I try to imagine those things. Like, how would I act? I say I would do this, but I don't know. Once the money comes and the ability to sort of do more than I have ever imagined, really, what would be your first thing? How would you treat people? What would your behavior be like? You know, would it change much, or would, you know? And I think a lot of people maybe initially would say otherwise, but I imagine most people, your first thought is to just be so, like, your energy level probably shoots through the roof. You probably can't sleep well. You know what I'm saying? You're just so, like, your mind is just, and that's a hard thing. That's why I said we got to prepare everybody, I think, who wants to do more. You have to prepare yourself for that idea. Like, what am I going to do? Because it's a natural progression. I work hard. I develop something. The next step is a level of success that I maybe have never imagined before. And then when I'm there, what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
How you gonna act?
Yeah, how you gonna act when that Cash App shit, you can't even send the kind of money you making. You know what I'm saying? I'm making so much money, I can't even send this shit. Oh man. But that's when you get into the idea we were talking about, like, getting a .com, you know, realizing you gotta own something. So you might as well, you know, fucking be that owner guy, you know.
Invest in yourself. You know, that's one of the things that, like I said, I follow a lot of, like, positive business and, like, shits on Instagram, Black Success Club, and, you know, Black Business in a Box, shit like that. And they always say, what's one of the key things is invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? If, with your budget, whatever budget you have, take a percentage of that, invest in yourself, save some. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we get caught up in this cycle of just spending.
For sure.
You know what I mean? We don't even invest in ourselves or save.
We may call, you know, buying food that we like, or, you know, doing something extra with some sort of piece of clothing or something that we bought for ourselves or something, like that was me treating myself. You know, that was investing in me. You know what I mean? Like, I think that we mix those up. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I wanted to do this nice thing for myself, so it was like, yeah, but that's the point. You know, those quick successes don't add up over time. You know what I'm saying? They turn into continued patterns. You know what I'm saying?
Eventually, I look. Well, I can only speak for me. Some shit I look at after I bought it, after a while, I was like, why did I even buy this shit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
We all have done that. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's breaking out of that cycle from, like you said, I'm not just a buyer. You know what I mean? We all have to buy things in a way. You know, of course, you need to live, but that can't be the main mode of transportation, so to speak. That can't be like your main sort of ideology is to basically, again, just be a buyer. because then you're buying all the time. Like you said, it's perpetual. You know, these decisions you make, one way or another, become like patterns and behaviors. This is natural. This is not like some weird thing. This is just what happens as a human. If you think about something long enough and then you act on it enough times, eventually it becomes a pattern that becomes your life. And then you look back, and by the time you look back, you're watching yourself being this person and being like, dang, yeah, why did I do this? Like you said, like you're realizing over time, like, dang. But again, that takes a little bit more honesty.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people want to do that. And a lot of people just want to say, well, I needed that, or I was, whatever. I figured it was for this, and I would do this. And it's like, yeah, we all do it. You know what I mean? And that's a little bit of a reason why we could say, what the guy was saying too as well. I can keep referencing the guy from me because it just caught me. He's talking about like outcomes. Everybody can't have the same outcome. We can't have America where we all get the same outcome no matter what. We just said, because it starts to create again a slippery slope towards what people say what socialism would create. Now, I'm not well versed in all of these different things, and what I do know though is I don't agree. I mean I agree with what he said as far as like we don't want to get too far to this idea of like keep asking this same system to just basically provide for us.
Right.
That becomes again the slippery slope. You start asking for too much, they start taking control of it then, and then they just say it's theirs. And they decide, and then it's just so we got to be careful and just realize like it's good that there's consequences. It's good that there's for us as a whole, as humans, but as the system goes, it's good that there's a different outcome for everybody based on what you put in. Your input can determine your output, and your input doesn't have to be just physical labor. It can be your mind. It can be your intellectual property. What are you creating in that manner that can be of some value to the next man further on than just you and right now? Right. And then that value increases over time, because good stuff doesn't go bad.
Right.
It doesn't. I don't know. We're not this type of stuff, and what we're doing with podcasting and all this, and music and all that, and art and whatnot. That's timeless. That doesn't. If it's good, if it's got a good base to it, it's never gonna. Again, this is a good segue. Players Ball by Outkast. That shit dropped 27 years ago today. 27 years ago, and it's still
hell yeah,
incredible.
Hell yeah.
It has not aged. It does not sound. You could play it now, kids would love it.
Yeah,
it would land. It would hit. It was a Christmas song too. It was supposed to be a Christmas song. That was their version of a Christmas song. So it's like, it's
wow.
Outkast is just different, and hip hop, that was just a good segue just to go into some hip hop shit, man. Like hip hop, it's out here, man.
Yeah, man.
Virginia, man. They putting on, man. I ain't gonna lie, like I'm not mad at it. Watched World Emcee, which is I think it's Team Backpack, and they renamed themselves World Emcee. Maybe I'm wrong about that. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize, but that's what I thought it was. I could be wrong. But yeah, the boys, man, from out here in Virginia Beach, ATI, Intellect, Will Young, Basic. It was also up there was Vintage A, Tony Red. It was dope, man.
It was super dope.
It was good, man.
It represented.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. This is again, what RVA Rap Elite has produced, man. What Radio B, Spielberg, Wes, Hip Hop Henry, Moore, what they've done, man. They've put together a great fucking platform for people to just come out and really MC the essence. You know what I'm saying? And they got a battle league too, the Southpaw Coalition. I think Radio B started that. It's out here. Virginia, the energy is out here again.
Yeah.
On that level, on so many levels. It's again with airwave music as well, what Pusha T is doing, and shouts out to Shao Samurai getting signed. I believe, maybe if I'm wrong, I saw the connection, so I thought that was dope. Airwave music, so yeah, man, the energy is here, and that's what we were saying. You just gotta develop your own thing. Shouts out to everybody doing whatever they're doing in whatever fashion it's in.
Man.
Shouts out to the whole everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't. I know everybody gets busy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets in their own worlds, and you know what I'm saying? I don't ever want it to be anything that people believe that I have animosity towards anybody, or that I'm not trying to be a part of whatever people are doing.
Yeah.
I just be in my own thing, because I think that it's very important, especially early on, to build and be very very selfish, you know what I'm saying, of what you want and what you want to create and what you want to imprint and what you want to brand. Like, in some ways, I'm stubborn and I'm creating narratives that aren't real. You know what I'm saying? I watch Nori sometimes. I joke, like, that's how he be doing. He'll like, my head, it was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, it's more fun and it gives me a drive. You know what I'm saying? When I can create a narrative for myself to be able to, like, push myself to keep creating this thing for myself and stop and oh, if they ain't gonna do it, I ain't worried about that shit anyways. Then I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm gonna do it this way. And wait till I get this and you know what? I'm not stopping either. That's the thing. Yeah. So I don't care. Like, but even if it's not real, it makes me right. It makes that me push, move. Man. It makes me
move. The Jordan shit, you know, when Jordan thought you looked at him a certain way on the
he took it.
Going to court,
he went with it.
Your ass for 45.
Yeah, exactly, yo. That's what that's the energy. That's you got to tap into that. Everybody got it.
Yeah.
Everybody has felt it. You know what it is. You know what the thing is that did it to you.
Almost like a sense of spitefulness, but
if it's caged, if it's properly managed, it's incredible. But if it eats you up, that's when you get depressed, and that's when you get weaker. But if it becomes a driving force, then it's great. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. Fear is an incredible fucking tool. It does the best things for people, especially in the worst times. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. But if it's not understood, if it's not fully, you know, just really took in, and you don't really take it.
Yeah, and understand.
It'll kill you.
Yeah,
it will kill you.
Facts.
Because the world is disgusting. The world is fucked up. Nasty. It's foul. You know what I mean?
Nasty.
So if you can't take it, the world is gonna swallow you up, and that to you, that's a primal thing. That's the primal part of a human that needs to stay. You need to keep that. Otherwise, I don't know what we're gonna become. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm against it because we were even talking about that, like the Industrial Revolution. Like, okay, so it took over certain jobs, but then we created these other jobs, and now, of course, we didn't have the internet before, but now we do. You know, it's like things happen, the world changes, and jobs move, and people have to learn. But that's fine. It's just without that edge, shit don't hit right. You know what I mean? You gotta have something that makes you feel this need, because it's easy to get lazy.
We're resourceful though. We're resourceful,
and 100%.
I think that plays a part. Like once. Like you said, if the industrial age hits in and, you know, things get automated, like you said, out of spite of people fucking losing their job, I'm going to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's going to succeed just because they wronged me or whatever. However they take it and harness it and hone it in.
Exactly. That's what's important.
That's how, I think that's how it'll work.
I do too. You know, that's my belief. Because, again, I've said it before. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I hate humans. I definitely do. But humanity's pretty dope. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As a whole. I dig it. Because I'm one. I get it. But as a whole, not much of a fan. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think because humans, I think, are too much fans of humans. I'm not. Why? We're not that great. Like we keep saying it. I'm gonna keep coming back. Like, because the moment you get too ahead of yourself, shit falls apart. And that's what we've done. We really believe in ourselves to a level of we're gonna leave the planet. Now, most of that is just stupid white people doing that, but it doesn't matter. It's the idea of like, we're like, why? Yeah. We haven't fixed shit here yet.
Right.
There's a lot of work to do fucking here.
Indeed.
Don't you get it? Like, what do you, man, cool, great. I like it too. I like planets and all that shit too. I'm into the idea of, but again, man, the resources are not looking at the problem that's here and what's already going on. It's like, that can be done. It can be done. But it would mean you'd have to do something, doesn't it? Right? That's the problem, right? I guess that's the problem.
I'd rather just go fly 100 million fucking miles into space.
Yeah, I'm just not with it, man. I don't understand certain things anymore. I mean,
forget what y'all talking about.
Once you've opened your eyes to a few different things, like you said, and I heard y'all talking about on your podcast, you know what I'm saying, about once you've got the information, once you know about certain things that were done, once you understand about the levels that this shit has been in and what it does and what humans are and how long we've been here and how many times the stories have flipped and slopped and switched and all the crazy shit that whiteness has done, like, you start realizing this is some bullshit, man. Some bullshit all the way through. I don't believe none of you bitches. You guys just, all you made it up. Yeah. Everybody made it up. Yeah, fuck them all. Who cares? I trust the people I know and that I'm around and that we've had similar ideals That's it. I don't want to deal with whatever else y'all are dealing in, because it's some weird shit that y'all have done. The world is fucking weird. People are weird. I'm not a fan.
That's a t-shirt.
I'm just not a fan.
People are weird.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan.
Nah, that's real though.
But yeah, man. On a somber note, I'm a little late behind on this, guys. I know it happened. I think probably the day after, maybe it was, or something, when we did the pod. I don't know, but Benny the Butcher, man. Another unfortunate situation, but luckily he's alive and well. Word. He got shot in Texas, I believe.
Houston.
This is what there's an energy around, and people are desperate in some manners. I believe that's what that was. I don't think that was like some kind of attempted on his life or something of that nature. It was literally just trying to take his chains. And it was just some people desperate on a moment, and they knew he was there, or they heard about he was there, or whatever it was, and it's just this is what happens in the world.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I was just talking like on the pod with my brothers about Griselda and how I guess it was more so in reference to how they move as older acts and rappers. Like, they're not out there trying to do no stupid shit because they want to go home to their families versus the younger acts who still calling they want to smoke and this and that, and they get into those altercations. I think we were talking about King Von, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you were. I was just listening to it a little bit earlier with Diz. Yeah. So you were talking about King Von and the situation with him. Yeah.
Just that situation, you know what I'm saying? And not that I know anything about anything, you know what I mean? It was
I don't know it either.
And shit, but
right.
We were talking about energy, and I referenced them as, I think they're just the way that they attain their success and how they go about their business. I don't think they're out there in the streets looking for shit no more, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
They're trying to dodge it at all costs. So this was an unfortunate event that I think, like you said, came out of, just being hungry in the streets, man, in Houston, and shit not being open because of COVID, and, everybody's on edge, man. Like,
for sure.
Everybody's on edge, man.
Yeah. And Houston's been going through it, man. They had a storm and all that, and so I mean they've been dealing with it. You know what I mean? They've been going through it. You know what I mean? So it's like and just in Texas in general, man. Texas is a different place. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talks about it. Texas is big, and there's a lot of Southern pride, and people still ride around on horseback and stuff in certain places and stuff. I mean, so it's just a different energy out there, But as a whole, I think you see, like, especially people like Bun B and even Paul Wall and Slim Thug and even like the guy Sauce Walker, like, there's a lot of communal aspects to it as well. There's definitely a lot of great stuff happening there as well. It's just that there's an energy with people, like you said. There's an energy. People can't, they're dealing in their own ways, and you got to understand, like, this doesn't happen just because of this. This is definitely a lot of things that have already been in their lives, and then you lead up to these decisions. You know what I'm saying? To potentially, what if he would have hit an artery? You know what I'm saying? This person would have shot his leg and hit an artery or something. You know what I mean? So it's like,
same with Boosie Badass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I mean, fortunately he's survived as well. You know what I'm saying? In recovery, and from what I understand.
Yeah.
But these things could go left, like,
quick.
What are we doing out here, man?
Yeah.
What are we really doing, man?
People are hungry, like you said, man, and going through it. It's hard, man.
That ain't the way.
It ain't. I'm not agreeing with the idea of it, but I understand, like, it's just hard, man. You can't really fully really take grasp of what somebody can come to those places. Like, it all of us are different, like you said. So some of us is just, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? What the next man, what it takes for him.
You're right.
And how he would get to that place.
You're right.
It's hard to see it though, because it's like, God dang, man. Like,
no, I've been in places where I felt like doing some shit. Like
wilding out. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, I've been in those headspaces before, but I've never actually taken action.
Right.
But I mean, damn.
Yeah, I mean, even looking like recently, I mean, this is just taking that. It's not the same thing really, but it's the only thing I have to segue. I'm just gonna use it. It is what it is. But with Royce, the situation now with Fredro, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is fresh and this is wild. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? it's another lesson for people to understand that you don't know everybody, and you don't know people, and the people you don't know, do not just loosely use their name in a way where it's like you just want to play around. You know, that's why I said, like, you have conversations with your friends and things of that nature, and maybe you're joking around or whatever, but it probably wouldn't look the same if you were saying it on camera, and you don't do that, and you should respect somebody enough to not publicly be putting somebody's name out there in a way that looks anything like jokes or playing around or trying to dismiss them in some manner. Like that, you're playing with a tricky place where anybody, just as a general thing, especially as a man, or we respect a certain thing as far as an integrity, like we said, again, going back to the idea of integrity, just an understanding of like, yo man, you can have an opinion, but the idea of having to elaborate, it's like, what do we feel like sometimes we get in certain rooms or certain places and we just feel this need to say things like we're trying to impress somebody, or you're trying, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get, like you said, you just get too loose. You just start feeling yourself, and you start thinking that there's a relation with this person that you don't probably have a relationship. You probably have, you may have seen them once or twice. You may have spoken to them before, or you may have hung out with them years ago, but it's been 10 years or whatever. It's like, you don't know him and he doesn't know you. We're not the same people. And we're not, there's a line we should naturally just know, like, I'm not going to cross that. I'm not going to just say his name, try to say whatever about him like that. Like, but it's tricky because we all have emotions, and and in a moment you could be feeling good because that's what it felt like Royce was saying. Like, if whatever y'all feeling over there, if y'all feeling good, like, he's letting them know, look, this is reality for y'all to understand. This is what happens as people. We have to start drawing lines and understanding how each other operate so we can get clearer on things. So we don't have to keep trying to like reiterate things with each other and trying to like figure out, like we said, walking on eggshells and trying to figure out where I should say things or how I should say things. It's like, no, I'm clear. This person is like this, and they like this thing, and this is how their life operates, and I need to respect that. With all, and if I say something wrong, just be like, yo, my bad. I apologize. I'm sorry. My thing was what I said, and it doesn't take away from what I said. Regardless, I apologize. That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just move forward. Like, just take it for what it is and move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder if Fredro Starr is gonna respond to what Royce said, because. And he shouldn't. I think he should just take it.
I think so too.
He was right.
Or just hit him up and just be like, yo, look, explain to him, like, yo, look, first, like, start off with the sorry and apologize. And just be like, look, here's what it is. You're definitely right. And I can tell you that was, out of line. And, you know what I'm saying? Almost like, you know what I mean? Just to clear the air for yourself, you know what I'm saying? I would hope that, that's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, clear it for yourself, just so you can be clear.
You should probably listen to the album first.
Right, yeah.
I don't think get the name right. Allegory.
Get the name right. Get the name right.
Yeah, definitely. Because that was a sad. I didn't like that version of Fredro, man. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw the video, it was distasteful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, it just looks like. That's a hard line. Again, you don't know people, man, and we should all start learning that. Yeah. And that's why somebody like Royce does what he does. Yeah. It's to let people be aware. Yo, no. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, you got to be reminded of the reality. People are not playing games out here. And though it seems like it's a game because you're enjoying yourself, no. Just be clear on that. Just don't do that. That you need to just talk about you and your family and your friends and those people you know directly. Don't freely just put people's names in your mouth. And that's where we've gotten to. Everything seems so easy and people just say things. You know what I'm saying? Especially because they hear a rapper say something. You know what I'm saying? Or they hear their favorite celebrity say something. And so they just go along with it. You know what I'm saying? And they just start saying crazy things too. It's like, you got to be careful. And even a celebrity can get caught in that world. You know what I'm saying? Even if you could be already you could get caught in the world of thinking, well, it's free information, or I'm just having fun. I'm just joking. It's like, well, everything's not a joke all the time. You know what I'm saying? And
be ready for the consequences.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. If you're ready for the consequences, then hey, cool. Like, I remember Talib Kweli saying that to Michael Rappaport. Like, yo, if you're willing to take the heat for the things that you like to do with people and the things you say that people get rubbed the wrong way about, then I'm not mad at you. Yeah. I'm not going to hold you to it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you differently. I've known you for a while. But if you don't get that, you're gonna take this all the time. Like I'm telling you, you're angry about people doing these things or saying these things about you or whatever, or putting you in these stories and making things up about you. Well, the person you are creates this world where this is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So if you're okay with that, hey, by all means, go out here and be the guy you like to be. Say the things you like to say, but you know, the world has consequences. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You better just chalk it up and take it. You know what I mean? Oh man, what time is it right now, man? It is
I don't know.
It is 8:06. Oh, they're about 6 minutes into the Jeezy and Gucci. Jeezy and Gucci.
That's
they're doing the verses tonight.
That's happening.
You know what I mean? There's layers to that, man.
Yeah.
There's layers to that. Obviously, you know, I haven't seen much about too many different things. I've watched little things that he's put out. I watched a video that Gucci put out, or Jeezy talking about it, and you know, seems like it's gonna be, you know, amicable, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know. There's history there with those guys. You
that's
know
what
I'm saying?
I've been hearing, man.
Deep history with those guys.
I can't say I know too much about it.
I don't know the full story either. I do know that, you know, there's somebody who lost their life from that Jeezy knew, and it was during what seems to be a robbery attempt on Gucci. Gucci killed the guy. So.
See,
there's layers
to that. I knew
of
that, but I didn't know that was supposed to be or allegedly Jeezy's camp. You know what I'm saying, or anything.
That's the story. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I seen Freddie Gibbs talking about it recently and just saying, you know, yo, he killed somebody. You know, you can be in the same room with him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just different things that people are saying about it, and it could just it's all entertainment at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know these people's story, and I don't want to even act as if I understand what this is about. Really, I'm not in that world. You know what I'm saying? But the music wise, you know what I'm saying? I think people resoundingly seems on the side that I'm looking at, maybe again, due to algorithms or something for what I'm saying, that people are saying Gucci. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't know what people are going to be looking for because Jeezy's got some fucking bangers, man.
But
fucking
like I said,
bangers.
I don't know enough about either one of their music enough.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough either, but I know what I know, right?
Yeah.
And I do know about like persona wise and like who they are as far as like what they represent. And I know Gucci like is somebody that a lot of, especially artists now, younger artists too, like they reference him a lot. Like they talk about him a lot.
He put on a lot of new cats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or influenced.
Exactly. He was a big influence for a lot of the younger generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's been out for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Really long. Him and Jeezy both. So, you know, they've been around. And, you know, people, especially with Gucci, I think people are going to say because of his transformation. You know what I'm saying? From what he was able to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Situation he went through. And now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Gucci is cut up. He's in shape. He's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's living his best life. It's like, yo, we all champion that. We all, you know what I'm saying, love that. We all love somebody who's like able to just turn themselves around and just get out here and just live their life, you know what I'm saying, and have a good time and not be worried with all the other nonsense and trying to be concerned with, you know what I'm saying, anything, but just trying to do what you need to do for yourself and for your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to see that. You know what I mean? I at least, like you said, at least you hope, or that's what I want to see, and that's what most people I know want to see is like, and you know, Jeezy, you know, he's been around for quite a long time, and he's been through some stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? He's dealt with his own situations and whatnot. So, you know, he look at him now. He's like an executive, I think, at Def Jam or something like that. He got a role up at Def Jam.
Yep.
So, you know, this is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Overall, you know what I mean? Yeah, I might watch it later on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in for, you know, check it out, see what the looks be like up there.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
But yeah, man, that was.
I don't know, man. Versus, I like it. Don't get me wrong. They just not putting the people that I want to see up there.
Yeah, no, I feel you. We was talking earlier about Jay, like, and you said you were talking about that on your podcast as well. So like, Jay and Nas. I mean, but yeah, we were saying, well, what about like legends?
Yeah,
I think old posthumous.
Posthumous.
You know what I'm saying? Man. Like. What? Well, yeah. We were talking about. I mean,
I mentioned Jay versus Big on my platform. You know what I'm saying, a while ago.
Right.
But I thought about Nas versus Pac today.
Right.
And I thought that'd be
right.
That'd be cool. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, again, like we said, these things can be done, you know, and they can make it look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It could still be done without looking cheesy or, you know what I'm saying, trying to look weird or whatever. But, you know, I would watch it. I definitely would watch it. I for 100% would watch it.
I just don't see who else they would go against.
Yeah, there's certain artists you just see is like, yo, these are amazing, like top of the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, who do you put them up against? Like, what do you mean you're gonna put them again? Like, again, it's more like showcasing their catalogs, like we were saying. It's not like a versus. This is like, you know, we're gonna showcase each other and our best value, like what we like. Again, a little bit of B-side stuff and some of those hits, you know what I'm saying, and like really take you on a ride and tell you a story, you know what I'm saying, and like not just be you know, here's some music in this playlist that we put together, like
give you hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, exactly, right. Nobody wants to hear that for real. They want to hear some of your, like, especially for rap. If you're an artist, especially you're a rapper, right, or just in general, even like new age stuff, like just in general, want to hear some, like you said, either your B-side or your mixtape stuff, like freestyle stuff, like
what are those? I just want to hear the cuts that resonated. What joints resonated with people, and you know that it resonated.
Yeah,
not the hits, but the joints. That you know what I'm
see,
saying?
that tells you a different story about the artists themselves. Like, how in tune are you with your base? Like, how much do you really know your art? What's really connecting with? How much do you really know that?
I think listen.
Do you think they really know that much? Like, are they really that in touch with?
They
like,
perform their shit in front of fucking thousands of people.
I could see that.
So I could, you know what I'm saying?
I could see that. Like, they're picking these songs that they've done at shows and stuff. So
you know which ones to go at the show.
Yeah, right.
Because we had a glimpse of that in the in the past.
Heyday.
You know what I'm saying? We had a glimpse of that.
The precipice at the moment of inception, if you will. Yeah. No, for real. Yeah, you're right about that. I could see that for sure. Especially an artist of that caliber is like, yeah, I've been on stage, so I played all these joints and I would just drop shit like randomly and people would go crazy. So I was like, yo, let me start doing that shit.
Yeah, granted, those guys are so big now, like that every song that comes on is probably
for real.
The show, but
right, still. But they know the ones that are like the one, like, and that's what I mean is like as far as like the level of like the headphone listeners, you know what I'm saying? Those people are like listening to your music because they want to listen to it, like not even at a live show sort of setting, but like they like this is the joint for them. Like, it touches, it does. Like, what are those songs? And like, how in touch are as an artist with that aspect? Like, can they really know? Like, yo, people like track number 4 from my 5th album. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think more so now because of analytics.
True. If they're watching shit like that,
if they're paying attention to it.
Yeah. I would do that if I was an artist of that caliber, and I could like, yo, let me go to like Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal and like look at and get a chart made or something for me and show my like a pie chart or something and show me what's been popping with people, what's been the songs that people made, and give me my top 50, you know what I'm saying, joints.
Yeah.
That have been from top to bottom, from the most streamed to the 50th most streamed joint, and then I'm gonna pick my 20 from there. You know what I'm saying?
I think they essentially have an algorithm like that on. Maybe I think Tidal might be the only platform, and that's the only platform I use anyway.
Right.
But Tidal, because they have like when you go to an artist page, like if I go to your page, it'll have a top 100 tracks if you have 100 songs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And based on which ones have been clicked the most. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you can already put it in that order.
Yeah. Like if I go to like Biggie, like I went to Biggie shit and
what was the top song?
Oh, what was the top song?
Yeah, go to it real quick. I want to know because this is
cool.
Say I didn't know this. I haven't looked.
Shit,
I want to know some of this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I've been trying to think about this stuff too. I mean, this isn't like some big thing. I'm not like trying to say like I'm finding some great, amazing new thing. Like I'm breaking news to somebody, but you know what I mean? Like, this is definitely cool. Like, I want to know like, how does that work? Because that's what I mean. Like, we were just saying that I want to get these projects out by the new year. So again, it's like new music, new stuff to put out, and having the algorithm and having the system to start developing this understanding. Like, you know what I mean? What's going on with people? What are they hearing? What are they saying when they say something? And because I've seen that on, you say like on low levels. Like I did stuff on SoundCloud or whatever, and I'll be able to like see through having 10, 15 joints on there, be able to start watching and being like, damn, people are fucking with that shit. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Or well, that must have been, and then I started attaching to what I did at that time. Like, what made people listen to it? Like, did I share it a lot at that time, or was it because people just have been listening to it? You know what I'm saying? So, But yeah, what's the top joint up there?
Top track for Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. is Juicy.
Juicy, I figured that sounds about right.
Number 2 is Big Papa.
Big Papa.
So
that's tight. That's dope though. Yeah. I didn't know you. That's cool though. But I mean, I'm sure all of the platforms. Haven't looked at it on Spotify. I have Spotify right now, but I have to look.
I think you'd have to if you don't have the premium. I don't think you're gonna be able to tell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I might have to get that, man. I've been thinking about it. I might make the switch and get Tidal instead of Spotify.
Yeah, it's cool. It has, you know.
Cause Tidal has Sci-Hi just dropped a joint. I just made me think about that. He just dropped a joint on Tidal. I think he's dropping like episode 2.
Shows you everything.
Yeah, because Tidal has videos and stuff too, right?
Videos.
Yeah, so that's
credits.
What I'm saying. Yeah,
so you can know who's producing and who's doing what on what.
And that's what's the most important thing, man. Yeah. These platforms are weird these days, man. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how much more we're gonna see this continue this way until people just start, like we said, creating .coms and just basing your own thing on your own thing and just being like, I just create my own space. And I start collecting analytics on my own. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because these systems are starting to try to play around and they're using things and they're not putting enough information in the right places and they're not giving people credit and they're not, whatever. It's a lot of things that could be going on, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes that, we're not privy to. And that's what I'm like. The more you can house your own stuff and the more you're in control of all the elements, then, it's better that way. You know what I mean? It's better the more you can control, the more you can hold and maintain, you know what I mean? Like we were saying, you may want to create something and it doesn't mean don't get anybody to help. It just means be wary of the fact that this person can now say they want to be whatever percentage owner of this thing now because they did provide something that made it possible for this thing to exist. So if they want that, then you can't be mad, So if you want to avoid that, try to find as many ways that you can avoid those things. Now, if you have to, or if you feel like it's not that big of a deal to you or whatever it may be, then yeah, go for it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like I watched with Dame Dash talking about it, saying like, as long as I'm owner, the bigger shareholder, so to speak, and the owner, if it's 50-50, cool. But if it's 60-40, then I'm the 60. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be working for me. You know what I mean? Like I want to maintain, and that's an important thing to continue to make sure is understood with people. Like, yo, maintain your shit. You know what I'm saying? Control your shit. Be the ship. You're controlling the ship, man. Take the whole, as they say, or whatever. Take the wheel. Like, you're here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's get this shit fucking populating.
Hell yeah, man.
It's real. But yeah, that's about all I got, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hear about that Taylor Swift shit?
Hell no! What the hell, Taylor Swift? What the fuck?
Her masters got sold again.
Oh shit!
For over 300 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
300 million.
Dude,
how the fuck that shit happened?
What's the dude's name? Scott.
How her shit get sold? How she get her masters sold?
I can't remember the dude's name, but he bought the label that owned her masters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then sold her masters to another company. 100% of her masters fucking cover arts, videos for the first 6 albums. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For 300 plus million. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really give a number or whatever.
Right.
Joe Budden and them guys break it down a little bit more.
Okay.
But yeah, man.
That's wild.
It's a story right now.
That's wild.
And she's like, my masters have been sold again without my knowledge. Like, they weren't ever for sale for me. Like, the dude wouldn't allow her to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I don't know. I probably had another deal on the table
some other type shit. I don't know what that.
I don't know that shit.
I'm not a guy who knows that. That's the shit that Joe Budden likes to talk about.
Yeah.
That's his bag. He be going in. He knows all that stuff. He's been in it. He's been dealing with Spotify and other people, so he gets it. And he deals with labels and stuff as an artist, so he knows the depth of these things. I don't know that shit.
It just had me like what we were talking about. Being wary of who you jumping in business with and have your shit. If you can, have your shit straight in the beginning so that doesn't happen. Like,
right.
She should have never. You're Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? We know who Taylor Swift is now. I feel like.
For sure. Absolutely. Everybody knows who Taylor Swift is.
I'm reluctant to say this. You know what I'm saying?
Go for it, man.
But
break it down.
How do you allow this? at this point in your career. You know what I'm saying? Like someone in your corner should have did something a long time ago when they saw that you were gonna be the star that you were gonna be, or at least, or the deal was for fucking the masters from the jump. You know what I'm saying? She never owned her masters or something. It sounds weird to me. You know what I'm
it sounds like she got what most people get as a young artist, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? When they don't have enough people around them paying attention to the deals that they're making.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
6 albums?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a, you know, when you don't pay attention, that's why it's very, very, very important. I don't know the depths of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said. But what I do know is that, to segue, if I can even discuss anything about it in general, is just, like you said, when you're that kind of an artist and you're going in to sign a deal for such a big deal of time, 6 albums, like you said, to deal with that and to say that you're going to give away your masters is like, that would be in the contract somewhere.
Yeah.
Or if it's being done without your knowledge, and it's illegal, then you should have already sued these people like 40 times over already, and you should have won 40 times over. So
it sounds like somebody conducted some bad business.
Yeah, somehow it's like, how did that happen in the first place? Who was around her that would even, like you said, allow for that to even be something that could even become close to happening? Like, why would you sign away something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you sign away that much of your music
and then become that big of an artist,
right?
Where the catalog is,
and you should already know you were going to, because you're making a deal for such a large amount, and they want that much. Why would they want that much from you if you're not that great?
Well, because the label she started with essentially got bought out.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, by this company who sold it to this other company now. So when that company got bought out, they sold the rights to Dude. You know what I'm saying? So he already acquired these masters and shit, and there was nothing she could do about it then. They were talking about this, I think, maybe a year ago.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just sounds like, again, the depths of the industry. When you become a high commodity, you know what I'm saying, when you're that great, when you do that level of art and you're creating at that level,
the same with Ye, kind of, when they said,
I heard that
his masters got sold a while ago.
I heard that. Yeah. I couldn't imagine that, man.
Rapper shit, yo.
Yeah, man.
Entertainer shit, man.
That's what I mean, man. Like you said, that's why it's important to develop something, and then to be. That's what I said. Be stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
Be selfish. Because you got to be. Because this is savage. Motherfuckers don't care. You kidding me? This is it's just business.
They'll sell your whole shit.
Yeah, it'll take your whole life, man. Sell your whole life away.
Yeah.
What do you do? That's what I mean.
I believe she's pretty much forced to re-record everything that she did her first 6 albums if she wants to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Oof, it's nasty.
That's ridiculous.
Nasty.
That's ridiculous, right? But it is what it is, man. The world, of especially that world, the industry, the music industry, and just industry and business in general, man. Like we said, it's cutthroat, man. It's stop. You can't get in the idea of doing business with people that are making that kind of money, and believe that they're gonna do things in a way that benefits you. They're not trying to benefit you. Yeah. They're trying to make money. Their objective is to make the highest bottom line that they can make.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird kind of word, highest bottom line. But yeah, that's what they're trying to do. So they gotta really, be weasels. Most of these people. Not that they have to be, but that's the perception that they give off, and that's what they believe is you have to be that, and that's what they operate under. It's like you can't be mad almost in a way, like you go messing around with wolves or something like that and be mad when the wolves become hungry and they want to eat your ass, and now you're mad, like, motherfucker, what the hell are you doing over there? Nobody told you to go mess with the hungry wolves, right. Stupid. Like, stay away from them fucking hungry wolves. Your ass thought was gonna happen. You just go over there and be friends with them. You a dummy. You a real dummy. You know that. Like,
hungry.
Like, that's just not a good idea, man. Like, I was watching again Joe Rogan podcast, and I thought we were gonna be done, but I will talk about this a little bit. But this dude was talking about going to hunt, and one time he was hunting and he shot, I think it was an elk, and they started going to like do the final scanning up. They were trying to cut it up and get it out of the woods. They were trying to get it out, but they wanted to do most of it there first, so they started. That's usually what most people do, I guess. So he had killed the elk. He was waiting for it to die. He goes over finally. When he gets over there, he like looks up behind him and he sees a wolf. And so it's far enough away that he's not like scared, but he just sees it and he's just like, okay, so he's like thinking to himself like, we gotta hurry up. And I guess the story progresses to where basically, he gets, him and the guys that he's with, they get surrounded, what I'm saying, by a pack of wolves. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really see them, so to speak, but he was like, I could see like one that I considered was probably the alpha. It's probably alpha, maybe a female even, because most of the time the females are bigger, you know what I'm saying? And they're the ones that run the packs most of the time. Yeah. So he saw one and he could kind of see it up higher, because the way that it is out where they were at in Canada, I think they were in like Alberta or something. It's like the farmland is up high, and then it like kind of trails off and goes almost into like a ravine. So it's like a hill. It goes down and it goes into like there's like a river or whatever. So, where they were kind of down in what would be called the ravine. So it was like the wolves kind of had the high ground. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, when they started pulling back, trying to get away from the wolves and try to get deeper down into the ravine so they could try to like slowly back away, they realized that the wolf had started to howl, and it started creating the other ones, or not creating, it started making the other ones howl back. So it was almost like he was calling to them. Yeah. Or she was calling to the other wolves, and they started hearing it, and it was almost like they could tell. It was like a circle of them that were around them. They couldn't see them, but they were around. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the pack. You know what I'm saying? So they started realizing, and he was like, "Yo, we, two of them came up. You know what I'm saying? And we saw them, and one of them was looking at me with this evil. It ran straight at me. He was like, I had no choice. I had to shoot him. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately." My friends, they got scared. They pulled out their guns that they had, and they shot twice. So it's gunshots going off. I'm shooting my bow. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it was chaos, and we killed two of them, and then they regrouped and they came back, and you know what I'm saying? We had to, slowly get out. You know what I'm saying? Damn. And eventually they all had just left, because after we killed two of them and another one came, I shot at it and it got scared, I guess, and it just ran off, and then the rest of them ended up leaving. He was like, but they were letting us know, like, that's our territory. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my elk. You know what I'm saying? You just came in my house and just stole my food. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta let you know what it is out here. And we watch these places. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because this is our area. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guys were. That's what I was trying to say. Part of the story is like they realized they were down in the den. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they backed away and they got deeper down into the ravine, they realized there was like hair around and there was like little holes dug and stuff. So they're like, damn, we now backed away in their home. We literally are like in their house and we just stole their food. It's like, yo, this is the world. Like, that's a good lesson. It's like, yo, don't go around just thinking you can just take things from anywhere and thinking that you can just involve yourself with things. And like, especially when you know what goes along with these places that you're at. Like, when you go into these environments or when you go into these places, you're putting yourself at harm's way. Like, unfortunately, that should have been known. Like, Taylor Swift put herself in the wolf's den, and it's like, want to be mad now? People taking her stuff and just doing stuff with it willy nilly. It's like, well, these are the what is it called, the rules of engagement. You know what I'm saying? You involved with a lot of these things, that this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? These people,
especially if you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, for sure. You get caught up in it, and then it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So independence, man. Take your own intellectual property and own that shit and turn it into a business, you know what I'm saying, and trademark and copyright and learn these things, you know what I'm saying. That's what me and Diz, shouts out B Diz a Rockstar, super obvious on YouTube, go check that out. That's what we were talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Yo, ownership and learning more. Like, we're already well versed in a lot of things as far as creatively. Now it's time to get very well versed and understanding how to build something from that. And that's more important than anything. You know what I'm saying? And this is what this is about. This is transparency, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the guy acting like I got it all figured out. Though I may talk well and I may have some sounding like I know what I'm saying, I don't have a lot of things done yet. I'm in the road. Like I said, if you watch me on live on Instagram, I'm in transition to wealth. I think most of us, that's where we're at. We've learned enough that now it's like, okay, now turn it over. Yeah. take that next few steps you need to take to start building, and stop just like you said, stop just trying to be a buyer all the time. You know what I'm saying? Be a creator. You know what I'm saying? Or like the great Tyrese said in the classic Bad Baby Boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna either be a buyer or a seller. You know what I'm saying? Which one are you? You know what I mean? You gotta wake up and make a decision. You know what I mean? But yeah. So this has been episode 312 of the Words Illah Podcast. Keeping it rolling. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Again, holla at the Baker. Check him out on Some Married Guys podcast. And if you have ideas for designs of any kind, you know, man, he has a heat press. He can make some designs for you if you like to make certain things, hats, shirts, you know what I mean, masks. You know, he can help you get some things done for you. And so everybody else out there, everybody else out there, shouts out to y'all doing what y'all doing. Shouts out to Chris yet again, as always. Be Divine Collections, y'all check that out. BeDivineCollections.com. Cop something. She's always doing stuff. She's got sales going on all the time. Shouts out to my man Glue Hefner. Check out gluehefner.com. He's got Sticky Situations. He just dropped some shit called The Good Vibes. That's another, design that he's got going with the brand Sticky Situations. There's some cool stuff he put together with that. He put some hats out and I think some sweaters or something, and some sweaters. Tony gave me 2 sweaters. 2 sweaters. Some cool work pants. But so yeah, man, shouts out to everybody, man.
Yeah, man. Keep doing it, man.
Everybody keep grinding, man. And you guys inspire me, man. Everybody, I could name a whole bunch more people, but this is the top of my head. Steve B. Shouts to Steve B. Y'all check out Steve B doing it. Steve B doing it on Instagram. Check him out. You know what I'm saying? He be dropping muffins and free verses all the time, and he be fucking doing crazy shit. But shouts out everybody. I could keep saying that. Then I'm gonna say another name. But nah, man, this is the end of it. So appreciate y'all time. You know what it is, man. It's the Words Illah Podcast, best podcast you ever heard in your life. Your mama like it. Y'all be careful. Please don't go out for Thanksgiving. Please stay with your family. Please stay away from people, because I want to get out of this thing, man. I want to go back to. Let me stop that. I hate to say those words. I'm trying to reframe it. I want to move forward in life, and let's get this thing. Let's get it right. I'm out of here.